Attention all cryptocurrency traders and investors. It's happening again. Right before our eyes, possibly Bitcoin's worst nightmare happening right now as we speak inside of this chart. Take a look. The top of 2021 right here was marked by bearish divergence, where price went here, then went a lot higher, while the indicator did the exact opposite. It went high and then a lot lower. What is happening right now is Bitcoin is in the midst of incredibly strong bearish divergence. And the million-dollar question is the top in? And what is happening inside the charts? What is happening with these facts? Because like I said, last time we had bearish divergence, it marked the market cycle top. This time, we've had bearish divergence playing out before our eyes for quite some time. So is this thing about to break? Is it about to get scary? Is it about to get real ugly? Or is there something brewing in the midst, in the clouds, deceiving everyone that's about to swoop in and completely shock the world? In today's video, I want to uncover exactly that. What are the chances that this bearish divergence right now, right before our eyes, snaps and this thing starts plummeting? Or is there something lurking in the bushes, hard to see, that's going to come swoop out of nowhere and absolutely skyrocket the market? What are the chances of that playing out? That's what I want to get into in today's video, 100% based on the facts. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Steve. I show you facts in the charts. No paid ads, no paid sponsorships, just straight facts that really help you. Subscribe. Let's jump straight into this chart. We have breaking news in 3 parts of this chart. Today, we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index and we are on the 2-week chart. Take a look. This candle right here closing below our moving average. We have to discuss what this means. Middle of our screen, RSI getting close to this yellow zone here. This has only happened a few times. We need to discuss that. Bottom of our screen, Stochastic RSI, our momentum. We've got to discuss what is about to happen, what is getting close to happening, and what it could mean for Bitcoin. We have breaking news in 3 parts of this chart, so we will break today's video into 3 parts. Part 1, price action. Part 2 is the RSI, and part 3, stochastic RSI. Also in today's video, I'm going to give a bonus alert on 2 other charts, and you do not want to miss what I'm about to share with you, because you can literally use these 2 charts that I'm going to show you as your competitive advantage. So don't miss that. Let's start with this chart and the 3 parts we're going to talk about, and then we'll get to the 2 bonus charts. So let's jump in. Price action first. With price action on the 2-week chart, we do have a moving average. This moving average is the 21 SMA, and you can see it drawn on your chart right here. Before we do anything more, we've got to discuss the elephant in the room. Right now, Bitcoin has incredibly strong and long bearish divergence. You already saw the top of 2021 literally was marked with bearish divergence. 300 days apart, data point 1, price went here, then price went higher, and the indicator went here, and then indicator went lower. Once again, bearish divergence, price going one direction, indicator going another, which simply means the price is going to do the opposite. So instead of the price going up, it plummets to the downside. Bearish divergence marked the top of 2021. That is not up for debate. That's not my opinion. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. What we have now is 500 days of bearish divergence. Keep in mind, 2021 had 300 days forming for bearish divergence. Take a look at price today. We made a high in March 24. Then we made a higher high in December 24. And then we made an even higher high in September 25. This is not up for debate. This is bearish divergence, 500 days building pressure. Take a look at what the indicator did. Indicator made a high, then a lower high, and then yet another lower high, while the price made 3 consecutive higher highs, marking textbook bearish divergence, which simply means price was going up, indicators going down, which means the price is going to do the opposite. Keep in mind, with bearish divergence, this can last days, weeks, months, years, or in the case of a stock market, decades. Yes, we've had decades worth of bearish divergence in the stock market. Crypto hasn't seen that. So simply put, with bearish divergence, we know we have it right now. We know bearish divergence marked the top of 2021. We know we've got bearish divergence right now. We understand it's 500 days. So how do you know when bearish divergence is going to last? How long will it last? The key is nobody knows. You have to look for keys in the RSI and the stochastic RSI, which we're going to get into momentarily. Let's finish our discussion with price action. We talked about this green moving average, the 21 SMA. You jump over here to your indicators, you put SMA, you pop that bad boy on, you put it to 21, you put it on green, you throw it on the 2-week chart, and it will look exactly like this. We have some danger in this red circle right here. Why? Well, so far, for this entire bull run, we have had some pullbacks to around this moving average, right? We haven't had any candles close below as resistance. Now, when you go back to the glory days, right, here is the market bottom, 15, 16, 17,000, when everybody told you do not buy, it's the dumbest thing to buy, wait for below 10K, and yours truly was screaming at the top of my lungs to buy at 15, 16, 17. The rest of the world called us crazy, but in retrospect, that was the exact perfect thing. Since then, what we've had is beautiful market structure. We made our first high, we made a pullback, we made our second high, pullback, third high, pullback, fourth high, pullback. What you'll notice is these pullbacks were timed precisely with a stochastic RSI cross. We'll get into that in a moment, but everybody wonders, how do you know when the pullback is over, when it starts pumping again? It's the stochastic RSI, especially when you pair it. It only happens once per year on the 2-week chart, which we're on right now. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. So when you look at price action, you could see, okay, we made a high, we made a pullback. We made another high, a pullback, another high, pullback. All pullbacks were pretty much holding support on this moving average, no candles closing below. So what the hell is going on? Does this mean the top is in? What is happening? Is Bitcoin's worst nightmare playing out right before our eyes? And what is Bitcoin's worst nightmare? Well, Bitcoin's worst nightmare is that the top has just gone in and this bearish divergence has snapped and things are about to get significantly worse. That's Bitcoin's worst nightmare. Let's put it out on the table, open and honest in a transparent way. That, my friends, is Bitcoin's worst nightmare. But how likely is Bitcoin's worst nightmare to happen? Well, that means we need to take a deeper dive into the charts, and especially those 2 bonus charts that I'm going to show you. We already know that this candle not only is one of the biggest candles, the biggest red candles that we've had this bull run, but it's also trying to hold resistance at something that's been our support for the entire bull run. In other words, for the past couple of years, we have shown strength with this moving average, and suddenly, for the first time in years, we are showing weakness. Is that a good thing? No. Can it be resolved? We'll see. I told you there's something that could be lurking in the bushes, something waiting to come to captivate Bitcoin and to send prices shooting to the moon. We're going to talk about how likely is that, honestly, based on the facts and the charts, and especially given the breaking news we had in these 3 categories, is it even possible anymore? Let's get further into that. Now, we understand price action. We understand it in a more cohesive way. Let's look to the middle of the screen because that's where things are really getting interesting. Now, take a look, middle of our screen, RSI. Keep in mind, RSI goes from a range of 0 up to 100, 0 representing the strongest selling pressure known to man, meaning everybody's selling Bitcoin. And when everybody is selling Bitcoin, you want to be doing the opposite of the herd, so you want to be buying. When our RSI is up above the 80-ish level, especially on the 2-week chart, even the 70-ish level, it's a time to run away. It's a time that all the humans are buying, and you always want to be doing the opposite. In other words, RSI is overbought, oversold. Oversold being down below near the 0, and overbought meaning up above the 80, around the 100 area. That's the most it could get. If you look at the big picture of Bitcoin dating back to 2015 all the way until present day, the past 10 years, you can see we do not often get above this yellow line. And we do not often get below this yellow line of 40. So if you look at the 40 level and below, not many times that we touch that or go below. And same with this 85, it's not many times we touch it or go above. Those are the areas I want to draw your attention to, because right now we're getting very close to this 40 level. In fact, it's breaking news. We just closed this chart that we're talking about right here, and we came right down to this area of about 42, 41. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. Now, let's keep in mind, overbought, oversold, RSI, middle of our screen, breaking news. Let's dig into what's happening, and you have to see this. If you're listening to this, sit down, look at the chart. This is so important. I want to show you just facts. Without my emotional opinion, I want you to look at this chart, see what I'm showing you right now. Take a look. We just went here, not up for debate. If we look left and we say, okay, how many times have we been here or below? What was happening in the charts? Let's go left to here. This is the last time we were at this yellow line of 40 or below. And what was happening? We were at 16, 17, 15,000, just right here. Keep in mind, that's when the last time we were at this yellow line or below. How about before that? Well, it was right here, COVID crash, when Bitcoin shot up from about 3,000 up to 69,000 is when we touched this yellow line. Now, keep in mind, I'm just telling you the facts. You're looking at this chart. You're sitting down because you are now in tune to the facts in Bitcoin. And you understand, we just went here. I'm going to tell you what that means in a moment, but I just want to reiterate the history of when we've been there before. So we talked about 2021, 15, 16, 17,000. Was that a good time to buy? COVID crashed when we went from 3,000 up to 69. Was that a good time to buy? How about this time, the previous time when we were down below there? We're talking about November 18 all the way until February 19. Well, that's just when we were at $3,000 Bitcoin, which was the absolute bottom of the market. And from there, we went from 3,000 to 14. Not up for debate. How about the time before that? Time before that was 2015. We dropped below here when we were literally at our market cycle bottom, and we came out when we were literally done with the bear market. And the time before that was 2012 when we touched here and we went from $2 up to over 1,300. Now, I've just laid out to you the facts. When we have been this oversold or lower, all of them were the market cycle bottom except for the COVID crash. I just want to state the obvious, ladies and gentlemen. This is a major alert for Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency world. This is the fact, right? We are that overextended to the downside, meaning the high majority of humans are selling. You probably see it all over the news. This whale is selling, that whale is selling, this whale. Well, I hope they see this chart because everybody's selling right now. In fact, it might be one of the best times to really change your strategy up. Now, we talked about price action, we talked about the moving average, we talked about our big concern with this candle here, and then we talked about how the RSI overbought, oversold, 0 to 100. We talked about what has happened in the past and how this could be a good news in disguise. Now, let's get to the bottom of our screen, the stochastic RSI, because this is when everything could start connecting together. And once we go over this part, I'm going to go over the 2 bonus charts because you're still wondering, okay, Bitcoin's worst nightmare, is that going to happen? What's the likelihood? And what's the likelihood of something being in the bushes coming out and helping Bitcoin go to the moon? Is that even possible anymore? Is that completely off the table? What are the facts saying? Bottom of our screen, our momentum, stochastic RSI, this also has a range from 0 up to 100. 0 or anywhere below 20 represents no momentum in the market. Where are we at now? Below 20. We've got no momentum. And price will continue to go down until we have a stochastic RSI cross up. Simply because right now we've got no momentum. Usually when you have no momentum, price will fall with momentum. When you have momentum rising, you will often see the blue line on top. Blue line on top means we are bullish, price will generally go up. Red line on top means we're bearish, price will generally go down. And you'll see once per year, we'll have a stochastic RSI going up. Back to the price action of the entire bull run. Take a look at the chart right here. This is so critical. I'm talking to you. Look at the chart right now. For our bull run of a couple years, we had this move to the upside, then a crash down. And you're always wondering, how do you know after the crash down, how do you know that next leg up? How do you know when it's about to happen? Look at the chart. Stochastic RSI cross on the 2-week chart. It happens once per year. Nobody pays attention to it, but every single year, that marks the biggest move for Bitcoin. Plain and simple, just facts. So this move from 23,000 up to 70, it was with the stochastic RSI. How about the next time it had stochastic RSI? 2024, right here, when we were literally at 50,000, 49,000, and we went up past 100,000. How about the next time? Was quite literally right here, when Bitcoin was around 70, and we went from around 70 up to 125. That was literally the stochastic RSI cross of 23, 24, and 25. We have once per year, and we are waiting for a cross. We already had the one in 2025. Little drop of a clue. We will get to the further one in a moment. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. But now is the moment you've been waiting for. I want to show you the 2 charts because you still have in your mind, okay, now I understand. Bitcoin's worst nightmare is this break of the bearish divergence. Now you understand where we're at with the RSI and how this could be a hidden gem in disguise. And you understand we are waiting for a stochastic RSI cross up, and likely we'll have price decline until we have a cross up. But there's something lurking in the woods that I want to get to. And there's 2 secret charts that can help you tremendously. The first one, everybody has been talking about Bitcoin in a bear market, bear market, bear market. Bitcoin's in a bear. Everybody's talking about a bear market. Now, shout out to my students, especially the ones that have my new masterclass. If you want to know what do I think and what am I doing exactly with my portfolio, you get my course. You know exactly the strategy, the strategy I'm doing with my altcoins and Bitcoin literally right now, the exact charts I'm looking at, the exact thing I'm looking at. But I want to give you one huge clue for free right now, today in this video. If you want to talk about bear market, bull market with Bitcoin, there's one thing I want you to look at, and that's secret chart number 1. This chart right here is going to illustrate a key level, not an opinion, not an emotional opinion, a key level. If we're above this level, we still have a bear market on our hands. And if we're below this level, we're in trouble. Bear market is in full effect. Okay, one level and one level only. And it's not based on my opinion or what I hope or think is going to happen. Bona fide facts. bona fide facts in market structure. If you're somebody who loves the charts, you're going to look at this and you're going to watch what I'm going to say and you're going to be like, I agree with that. That makes sense. That's logical. What are we looking at? 2025 is right here. We spent a whole bunch of months right here, resistance at 70K. Then we spent a whole bunch of months of support at 70K. But it wasn't just 2024 and 2025. It wasn't just these 2 years. It was literally dating back to 2021. That was our double top, literally at 70K. So in other words, our previous all-time high had resistance at 70K. Then in this cycle, we spent a whole bunch of months of 70K as resistance and then a whole bunch of months at 70K as support. So I ask you, what is the most important level in Bitcoin? Yes, this one right here, 70K. It's market structure 101. We made a swing high, we made a pullback. We made another swing high, we made a pullback. Another swing high, a pullback. Another swing high, a pullback. We are in a pullback. We are in a textbook pullback. This pullback cannot go below this red line as resistance. If we hold this red line as resistance, I will put my stamp on this bull market being over. Until that happens, we still have a puncher's chance. In fact, this is market structure 101. Any pullback that holds support here, we still have a chance. Period. End of discussion. So this is the level I want you to watch. 70-ish K, 73, 74 here. If we start to hold that with the body of a candle as resistance, we're in trouble. Now, let's get to the next one because we're talking about the second chart that I want to give you. And we still need to talk about, what are the chances of this breaking? What are the chances of this actually being the top? And what should we be doing right now? Is this a buying opportunity? Is this a selling opportunity? I showed you with the RSI and where we stand. I showed you with the stochastic RSI where we stand. Let me introduce bonus chart number 2, the fear and greed index. We are in extreme fear. What were we in last week? Extreme fear. We're in literally extreme fear as you're watching this video. Now, I mentioned to you this before. Now, to everybody who's like in trades, out of trades, switching to altcoins, this, that, you've seen results. You come to this channel because I spit facts. I want you to be honest with yourself. It's not working. Period. What you're doing is not working. Let me explain something to you that will blow your mind. In the past 5 years, if you literally bought Bitcoin at the worst possible time, but you held for the last 5 years, you're in profit. Period. It literally, if you bought right before a crash at the dumbest time the past 5 years, if you literally picked the dumbest time to possibly buy and you bought at that time, but you held, you're in profit. And that goes for the history of Bitcoin. Think about that for a second and analyze the strategy you're using. It's not rocket science. Literally, if you screwed it up beyond belief, more than you possibly can imagine, you're still in profit. What you see with this chart, fear and greed index, anytime you're in extreme fear, especially down near the 10 to 15 area, it's a good time to buy. Historically, these are the best times to buy. Yes, maybe price will go down in 3 or 4 months from now, but again, you're playing the long game and you switch your mentality to the long game. So now let's make it for full circle. We talked about price action. Price action, we have some concern with the candlestick that just printed, plain and simple. RSI, we're pretty optimistic about where that is. Stochastic RSI, we understand price will continue to fall until we have a stochastic RSI cross, and it looks like we're getting close. And once we do have said cross, we could shoot up in price. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and hit that subscribe button. By the way, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your continued support as we always go against the herd. And shout out to the OGs that have been by my side for 7 or 8 years. Trade like a tourist or go with the pros. The FFA is where the real ones go. Link in description.